Electrified shardens. Really? Dude, stop. Stop doing whatever you were doing. Please. Oh. 5 then, because I leveled up and I don't want to do it again. Thank you. Multi-melta. Oh. Ranged weapon, heavy. What about you? Can you use multi-melta? Nope. Can any one of you use multi-melta? Nope. Strength 55. You have 35. Oh my god, I have to strength her up. Yes, and I have to do this. This is good. And you have combat shotgun. Okay. So everyone is ready to go. Open the doors. That was random as hell. But okay. How many doors do I have?
Revelation was sent to me.
Oh, boots. Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer gains 15% dodge against that enemy's attacks until the wearer's next turn. That is actually very good. That is actually very good for... It would be very good for my... this overseer with the dog. Solomon. Even though... Oh! Why do I hear some... What the hell? Oh yes, because I am in Theodora place. Yeah. They said to me that she has some weird hidden stuff. These gloves grant the wearer 10 bonus to attack use. They also increase the damage of plasma weapons by 3. Cool. Hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains 1 stack of zealot effects until end of combat. The wearer deals 10% damage with their area attacks for each stack of the zealot effect. That's actually cool. It's not that bad. Sit down. Oops. Ooh. The secret room is remarkably quiet and almost homely. Perhaps your predecessor used it when she sought complete solitude. Listening to the muted melody coming from the Vox speaker, you can easily imagine Theodora reading a book with a glass of expensive wine in hand. Have a glass of wine. 3 sealed bottles sit on the sturdy-looking low table. They are labeled Grandmaster's Blood, Boon of Terra, and Flame of Purity. Flame of Purity. The wine fills the glass, glittering in the dim light of the room like liquid gold. Its tangy flavor burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, biting aftertaste. You hear a short, faint hum as an Unseen motor steers into motion. Choose a book. Several books are stacked next to the sofa. Some appear ancient, while others look like they have never been opened. Oh. I wonder, do this have any meaning? And if I choose correctly, then it will open something. Among Theodora's data that has been restored using your cogitator is the phrase Litanies of the Motive Force. It is the title of one of the books here. Yes, choose it. As you pick up the book, a hidden button in its spine clicks under your finger. Well, well, well. Then you notice a short inscription in the book. From a faithful servant of the dynasty is lasting memory, DVV. The vid scream of the data slate before you displays the names of several Vox symphonies. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It is the first of 36 parts of the Symphony of Honor and Duty. Choose part 2. The music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room that goes back to normal seemingly without any change. Oh. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself in the nearby wall. Wow. Inside you find a data bank bearing the Von Valencius coat of arms. Engraved data drive found in a cache on Dargonus. The information it contains has been carefully encrypted. And the dialogue, well, well, well. Okay, so what do I have to do? I have to go to Ordenatus. Oh, I need 4 adamantine. Freaking freak. Foundation of any rule and workers. Profit factor down? But I have 5 provisions? No, no, no. I'm not going with any of those for now. Industrial World, Kiewa Gamma, Aberrations Lair, Pillars of Veridice, Mortus Asius. So, do I have anything to do in here? Audience with the RBTs. Is waiting for the rogue trader on Dargonus. It seems he has business with the Von Valencius dynasty. Commands the audience. The old captain should speak to Solomorn in the throne room at the Palace of Dargonus. So let's speak with the guy. Rogue trader, the marshal is ready to meet with you. Do you wish to commence the audience? Know exactly what is that the head of Adeptus Arbites in the Expanse wants to see me about. I do not know the details, but I would assume the procedure is the same as it was with Lady Theodora's time. Personal introduction, a affirming of allyship between the dynasty and Adeptus Arbites, and a discussion of tight-related affairs. Okay, let's get down to the business. Oh god, as always. Why they are also pompous? Marshal Gregoras Strach. Two markedly distinct figures approach your throne. Marching in front is a man clad in Adeptus Arbitis armor. He carries his helmet in the crook of his arm, but his stern facade serves him as well as any visor could. He bows to you sharply. Marshal Strachs of the Adeptus Arbitis. An old woman walks in the marshal's shadow, her body fitted with dozens of scribing implants and magnifying instruments. If not for her eyes, quick and inquisitive, behind a giant pair of ocular lenses, you might have mistaken her for an exotic servitor. Her robes are adorned with sacred symbols of the Adeptus Administratum. The woman bows. Rogue trader Oscar Valentius. I prefect Inscribia Vultur greets you on behalf of the Adeptus Administratum. I will now begin the due procedure of official address to the rule of Dargonus as formalized by Amendment 4-N/10 to Law SK 941. May your name be etched in glory for centuries to come. May your fortunes ever proliferate. May the God Emperor bestow upon you a duty worthy of his chosen. Her monotonous droning is making you weary. It seems she intends to go on for a good while longer. Get comfortable and listen to the end. The prefect resumes her elaborate formula. You notice a few poorly concealed yawns and frenzied blinking among the crowd. The speech drags on for another 5 minutes, but you pass this test of fortitude honorably. At last, the prefect's address comes to an end. Why would give their child a name like that? Abelard. What are these people doing in my demesne? I do not recall seeing you at court. What is the purpose of your visit? The marshal leans forward. His voice is low. And when he speaks, it feels as though the marble tiles of the palace had begun to vibrate. The Adeptus Arbitis delegation has arrived to greet Lady Theodora's successor and to see to the extension of our decades-long arrangement. If I may continue for you, the prefect steps forward, dragging her feet slightly. As per the decree of Theodora von Valentius or ORD 037-3N, the representatives of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbitis are sanctioned to use the Palace of Justice, oversee tithe collection in the Protectorate and review any and all cases of tithe avoidance, tithe exceedance or their irregularities. These rights have been formalized in numerous pacts and statutes under the main decree. Considering your new position, you may have yet to acquaint yourself with all these documents. You are the successor of Lady Theodora, whose alliance with our two sacred organizations forever glorified her as a rogue trader closely tied to the executors of Holy Terra's will. Holy crap. And we are representatives of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbitis must verify that you are able to maintain the alliance that has brought such repute to your dynasty. The prefect scrutinizes you as if trying to estimate your proportions and weight. This is why we have arrived in person, as the present circumstances have provided us with a chance to see if your intentions concord with those of the late von Valentius. And what circumstances are those? The prefect's lips contort into a twist. Our work has been disrupted by unforeseen setbacks regarding communication and transportation. As our requisitioned assets were not adequately prepared, we have lost some of our personnel and resources as a result. The arbitrators are too short-handed to perform all the duties expected of them. Since they first arrived in the Expanse, the numbers limited from the outset have only continued to dwindle. After analyzing the situation in accordance with Amendment FS 89324 to Decree ORD 0373N, we have decided to notify you of a slight violation committed by one of the worlds in the region. This regrettable lapse must be rectified as quickly as possible. The old woman shivers and rubs her augmented hands together with an unwearying crack. That I have an obligation to help you, and which world was it that had the misfortune of drawing your attention? Passera, a feudal world far from the main routes that was bereft of the Imperium's light, then rediscovered less than 2 centuries ago. It supplies agricultural resources and manpower. Okay. One of my governors has missed a tithe payment. I will simply have them hanging and then collect it. Of course, this will be. This should be. There should be like this. See, I missed the word. Dogma stuff. This should be dogmatic stuff. Carry forth the responsibilities taken on by Lady Theodora. I offer you my help. An arbitrator will be assigned to you for increased security. Proctor Antar, front and center. The marshal's voice thunders over the arbitrator's ranks. And Solomon Antar marches over to your throne, his cybermastiff at his heel. Thank you for your support. I will go to Tessera as soon as I can. The Emperor protects. The Marshal makes the sign of the Aquila in a motion so sharp that you can practically hear it cutting the air. The Prefect adjusts her ocular lenses with a very wary sigh. And once again, no specifics given, of course. And my reports, nobody ever stops to think. If they're that boring, like you are normally. But you look quite good. Cool. She quickly catches herself and offers you a bow. I know this is your job as an administratum prefect, but holy crap, this is boring. Boring as hell. Okay. So, Novella's Heart. Tenebris Aqua. So okay, I don't have to do anything. Clementia. I spoke with those. Curiosity Merchant. Mundus Valansis. Do I have anything to do? The Palace of the Adeptus Administratum is located in one of the spires of Dargonus, the capital world of the Von Valensis Protectorate. The Master of Seals, the Keeper of Ancient Laws of the Imperium, can tell the rogue trader everything about the procedure of obtaining Mercatum Tabula Officiale. Mundus Valensis. So, we are going to Mundus Valensis. Yeah, I need it for Jay. Okay. Terrible news from Dargonus, Lord Captain. Subsidiary Hive City Scipion 84249 has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production has halted, and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and overloading the transport lines leading to neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sector are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive regarding the distribution of these refugees? What is the cause of the catastrophe? It is still unclear. The noble houses are casting blame on one another. As always, agents of the esteemed Achilles Calendar stationed in the Scipion, whatever, died heroically while trying to save the population from this disaster. The final report mentioned some vulnerabilities in the industrial sector of the lower hive, but did not go into further detail. All your servants are currently too busy dealing with the consequences of the crisis to investigate its cause. What say my advisors? The death of Achilles' agents troubles me. It may not be a coincidence until the causes of the disaster can be concretely established. I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up prohibitive cordons where the refugees can be contained in the wastelands between the hives. Logic. The Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate with dignity. If the other hives do not wish to accept the unfortunate victims of this tragedy, then let the victims themselves teach those living in the hives a lesson in resilience and humility. I'm sure that the ecclesiarchy will aid the refugees in constructing camps to survive out in the wastelands and establish a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Such harsh conditions will be a crucible of fortitude and fearlessness, this tragedy a feat of spirit. Noble house are trying to wash their hands of this. How predictable. And yet it is their duty to see to it that the planet meets its tight obligation and brings glory to revenue to the treasury in your absence. Let the aristocrats see to the refugees and not stop until every last one of them has been put to work. Jesus, Abelard. They just lost their homes. Set up prohibitive cordons at the perimeter of the hives. I will go with Argenta, probably. They have the same stuff. But I think the catastrophe was made by man. Draft a few orders of my informants on Dargonus. The refugees quickly realized that they would not find shelter in the hives and dispersed across the wastelands. A harsh lesson in discipline has been delivered to the capital. Van Kolok's agents have run a thorough investigation to identify many of the refugees who had managed to reach and hide in the hives. Remembering how the rogue trader has treated their relatives and neighbors, they could have plotted their revenge if only they hadn't been expelled into the wastelands. Damn. Okay. Von Valencia's palace, throne room. What do we have here? Profit factor +2. Competency and efficiency. Yeah, I should go with the ecclesiarchy stuff. Jewelry, ship components, profit factor, efficiency, adamantine, mechanism, plasteel. What? A new hive city will be established on top of the ruins of Scipion. Okay. Stasiums will be constructed on top of the ruins. The dead and the dying will fertilize the gardens that will ring these pleasure chambers. Execute. Genetic mercy. Whoa. Let's do Emporium. It will give me a lot of stuff. Can do anything else? Nope. I cannot. So let's go to... Oh, I need her. Ouch. Okay. I don't want to... Okay, whatever. I don't need him, so I won't take him with me.
Sharing?
Jay, please. Eldari chainsword. Shuriken pistol, splinter pistol. What? Why do you have... Why do you have Eldari stuff? Yes, you will take this with you. Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by enemy, the wearer gains 15% dodge against that enemy's attack until the wearer's next turn. The zeal stuff, burning effect, run and gun. You don't have any run and gun.